I'm so excited to be filming this right now. I'm always looking for new ways to go through my collection and try things out and make it fresh and like assess if I really want it or why I'm holding on to things like that. And I'm particularly inspired with the start of the new year, of course, as we all are. So I went ahead and I wrote down the names of all my single shadows on little pieces of paper and I put them in this jar. Similarly, I also went through all of my like non-single shadow, single shadows, non-magnetic pan single shadows, that's what I'm trying to say, as well as like my like funky liquid liners and stuff like that I always forget about. And I wrote them on pieces of paper in here. Similarly, I went through all of my eyeshadow palettes, other than like my like old nostalgic palettes, and I wrote them on little pieces of paper in here. So my plan is I'm going to start by pulling 20 of these. I have like a Tarte empty magnetic palette that holds like 25, but I do have some like the larger pans in here. So I think I'm gonna start with 20 because I think that's like a safe bet, and if there's room, I'll add more in. I'll like keep drawing more. Or if I don't have like a transition color in like this or the palette, then I might like choose a transition color just because I want to only use this for like the next couple weeks or the next month, and I want to set myself up to success. I don't want to be like, no, you can only use blue, you know? So yeah, the plan's 20 at least of these, and then 2 each of like the funky shadows and the palettes. I think it'll be really cool to see what I'm actually using, to try things out. I feel like any concern I have of like, oh, I don't want to have 2 that are too similar to each other, I'm like, no, that's good, because then I can compare them in regular use and see if they're both worth having in my collection or if one really outshines the other. I also have been kind of like drawing mock palettes with this because I've just been so excited since I've written 400 slips of paper in here. There's some shadows that I pull out and I'm like, yes. And then some, even though I haven't even like made palettes. And then there's other shadows that I pull out and I'm like, oh. And I think that's interesting too, to make myself use the shadows that I'm not excited about, and maybe it'll make me excited for them, or I'll be like, why do I have this in my collection if I'm not excited about it? So we're gonna switch over to my hands where I'm going to draw these out. Well, I guess I'll draw out this that way, and then afterwards we'll come back to my face and draw from these. And yeah, let's get into it. So I'm probably gonna have no idea if we're in focus this entire time. I'm trying something a little bit different, so hopefully the lighting's better, but it's at the expense of I can't see the viewfinder at all. Actually, let me try something. Okay, now actually I can see it a little bit. Maybe this is good. Am I like a professional now? What matches up to this angle? I'm so confused. Okay. So I just have my little notebook to be a little slate for pulling out pieces of paper. I'm so excited. As I said, I've done this as like a practice run so many times, and I can't wait to see what we actually get. The first shadow. Okay, it's a Jeffree Star depotted shadow, a light pink shimmer. I think from the Royal Blood palette or something like that. I don't purchase from Jeffree Star anymore, but I have some old palettes that I mostly depotted because I'm not excited about them. So that will be interesting because I don't think that's gonna hold up. Next one out. Oh my god, it's another Jeffree Star shadow. That's really funny. Alright, this is like an eggplant matte. That's really funny. Okay. I'm also going to like, you know, rearrange everything in the pan after I get them all out, so that'll be fun. Next one. Another depotted shadow. This is a mini Colourpop penny shimmer. I labeled it with the number 3. It's from the I Think I Love You palette. I should have said my like hopes. I'm really hoping I get at least one like sick ass inner corner shade from Devinah or Terra Moons or Cleona, but it's not looking very good so far. The next one. Okay, this is Menagerie. It's the shade Eel-elctric, which I know is like green. Oh my god, another Jeffree Star. It's the bright orange. I think this is from the Blood Sugar palette. Move this over a little bit. I think I might be zoomed in. Let me zoom out a little bit. Sorry, very, very work in progress vibes over here. This one, another Menagerie. It's the shade Starling. I think that's one of those from the release over the summer that I swatched all of, I think. Maybe not. I have no idea. That's why I need to be doing this. The next one, Devinah Marshmallow Pillows. I know I like that one, so sick. We have a shimmer that I know what it is and I'm excited about. Terra Moon's Cosmic Dancer. I think this is one of those more like grungy ones, but that's really exciting. They have so many cosmic in their names though that I can't keep track. Terra Moon's Titan. That's one of the multi-chromes. I'm excited about that. Looxi Hybrid. I'm excited about that. Also, might be my favorite Looxi shadow of all time. Definitely top 5. I should do this like this. Next is Devinah Etheral. This is like a cool gray light matte that I'm not really excited about, and we'll see how that goes. Next is Terra Moon's Phoenix. My favorite shadow, probably of all time. Alright, cool. I'm not leaving anything good for next time though. Just kidding, I have a lot of good shadows, but still. Menagerie Tide Pool. I think this is the matte that I got recently, the like tealish matte that was in their new palette that I didn't pick up. Glaminatrix Violet Umber. That's like the dark purpley brown. So that's good. I don't have any transition in here yet though, do I? Other than Etheral, but... Next is Devinah Messier. Oh, that's exciting because this is kind of similar to Hybrid. So that'll be exciting. Next, Colourpop Meteorite. I think that's like the red. ACI 16, which is the unlabeled green taupe from Adept. I'm definitely gonna have some grungy looks in here. Next we have Colourpop Hungry Ghost, which is the glitter that I really like. Kind of reminds me of Phoenix. Next we have Terra Moon Celine. I'm actually kind of excited about that because I want to make sure I have enough like light colored shimmers that it's not like a look like with the W every time I make my eyeshadow with this palette. And then we have Menagerie Wisteria. Cool. I'm wondering if I should just go ahead and pull a couple more because I don't have a single one of the big ones in here. You know, let me pull out these shadows first so that we could be appropriately excited or unexcited for what comes after. So hold on a second. So here are the shadows, mostly. I can't find Terra Moon's Celine, and I know I have it because I wrote out all of these slips personally over the last couple days, and I did so by picking up each shadow and reading the name off of it. So I know I have it, but I can't find it right now. I don't know where it is. I think I looked at all of my single shadow palettes. So we're going to redraw for that. And then while we're at it, I'll keep drawing some more. This is pretty colorful. I was excited for Celine to be like a light shimmer. So yeah, I guess I'm going to draw 6 more, hoping for some more neutrals. And if I get any larger pans at this point, I'm going to put them to the side and then toss it back in at the end, just because if I'm doing a 25 pan palette, I can't fit one of the larger like Gimme Glow shadows or anything like that. So yeah, so let's put Celine to the side and we're replacing her with the hot pink from Adept. That'll actually be really nice with this pink. And then we have Menagerie Main, which is like a yellowy mid-tone brown matte, so that's good. Colourpop Earthshine. Oh, this is like a light pink shimmer. That'll be interesting. Sydney Grace Peanut Butter. That's a good transition. That's what I need. This is really working out for me. Colored Rain Malibu. Alright, that'll be bright. And finally, Cleona Tapestry. Yay, I'm happy we're getting a Cleona shadow. Okay, so I'm gonna grab those out now. Okay, I'm confused, and I'll tell you why I'm confused. It's because I don't have Cleona Tapestry. So I said how, you know, I looked at all of them to write them down. A couple that I just knew the name of, I didn't bother picking them up and reading the name, of course, because I knew them. But I think my wires must have gotten crossed, and maybe I wrote down Royalty or Majesty as Tapestry because there is a Cleona Tapestry in existence. So yeah, I guess the shame there is that one of my Cleona shadows, which was supposed to be represented by this little piece of paper, is not represented. But, I mean, I'll probably never get to all my shadows in this system anyway, so that's just life, and that kind of sucks. So we're gonna do another replacement. That one I'm removing. And our final replacement is going to be Colourpop Secrets. Alright, that's a little bit boring, but okay. Here we have the light pink Secrets. I mean, that will be good with Wisteria. I didn't even get a chance to like react to the fact that like I really like Wisteria. I'm happy it's in the palette. This Starling, I was totally wrong about. This was not one of the new shadows from over the summer. But yeah, I'm gonna assemble these into my palette. Alright, so this will do for now. I'm pretty basic with my palette setups. I like having some kind of general order of like lightness to darkness. I also did kind of like warm on the top and cool on the bottom, even though I did put like the cool gray on top because it's light. I don't know, some stuff to work with there. I feel like these shadows down here get pretty similar, but I know that they're different. I know that this Adept one kind of like shears out more. I'm a little bit surprised to see that Hybrid looks so much warmer than these two down here do, this Cosmic Blaze and Messier. So that's fun. And yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued by this. I'm definitely intrigued, and I'm seeing things I can do, so that's exciting. I feel like I might still play around with this more at some point. I kind of want that eggplant in the corner. I kind of don't want all these square pans like jumbled up together there. But that's something you'll be seeing. I plan to film like a video kind of using these shadows, maybe making a couple looks and like experimenting and saying some thoughts. So you'll see there how I further reorganize this. But yeah, here's my little January palette. I'll give you some swatches on my arm, and then we'll hop back over to my face. I don't know if I was just recording these swatches, and also me saying how I don't have makeup remover wipes, so I'm kind of seeing what I can do without being able to thoroughly cleanse my fingers. I don't know if I recorded any of that. But this start of the palette actually looks really pretty. I've been really into like the Mercury retrograde look recently, and the rose quartz palette from Huda Beauty, neither of which are vegan, but I'm really into them. And this is kind of giving me those vibes, and especially with this Menagerie teal down here. It's funny how much of like a palette is just how you look at it. But I'm swatching the wrong one right now. This orange isn't coming up great. I just did a whole video where I talk about this shade more. I don't know if that's coming up before this or after this, but that will be interesting. And this palette isn't sticking to its magnet, that little one there. Wow, that Titan. Oh my god, I'm so excited about that. Wow. Oh, you can really see the shift there. Cool. That violet umber is kind of getting all over. But wow. I was nervous that this palette would just feel like a cacophony of colors. And I mean, it does have a lot of colors in it, but like, it has a vibe, you know what I mean? Like it has zones. They could be mixed for something interesting, they could be separated. I could definitely do something soft, which I like doing for work when I wear makeup to work, but I have the option to do something bold. I like the idea of like mixing these bold mattes together for a look also. I'm really excited about this. Here's those swatches again in the better lighting. Better lighting, worse angle, right? Yeah, I don't know how to show you that side. There we go. And my palette again. She's so pretty. I like her. It's fun too because like I would have never made this exact palette, you know? Like of course I have all these shadows because I picked them out from my own collection, but I would have never put 25 of them together to create this. So that's cool. So the last 2 or 4 orders of business are in these really cute pink cups. Aren't they really cute? I have 2 more of them also. This is like the kind of thrift store purchase where I'm like, I'm gonna have a house one day. Like I'm gonna need cups. Like if I find the perfect cups now, why not? Maybe I shouldn't admit that, but like I really like them. Okay, so for my 2 shadows / liners, we're going to do the e.l.f. Gold Liquid Shadow. That's actually pretty interesting since I don't have that many neutral shimmers in my palette other than like those light pink ones. It's interesting that like I don't tend to use liquid shadows, but if I want the color, this is what I have. I'm excited. And then the other thing is going to be, oh, Sydney Grace My Bond. That's interesting too. Let me pull this out. Yeah, so this e.l.f. one, I got this I think earlier this year when I made like a big e.l.f. purchase, and they always have like the free gifts you can pick when you spend 25 or whatever, which is surprisingly hard considering how cheap a lot of their things are. It's really nice. It's a really pretty shadow. Yeah, I was excited to include like liquid shadows and stuff like that because I never think to use them. But if I'm kind of like clearing everything off my plate other than like the 2 of them, perfect. My Bond, I'm wondering how it's gonna go. Because Hannah Louise Poston had a declutter a while ago where she swatched this and then decluttered it, and I was like that's the most beautiful thing, what are you doing? But I've swatched it and just like, I just don't feel like it's as shimmery as a lot of my shadows. And if it's harder to work with than other shadows and the finish isn't as nice, then like what's the point? But it does look really pretty on its own. And I think it's going to be a really cool base to put under some of these like cooler shimmers. It's not focusing, but you know what I mean, right? Or even like the light ones too. I feel like I'm going to have like mixtures of things that I would have never thought of. Okay, and then the palettes. Every time I've done a practice run and pulled out palettes, I've never been excited about them. It's kind of interesting because like I should be more excited about palettes, but I'm less excited about palettes. And it makes me feel like I really need to downsize my palette collection because I'm like weighing myself down by having extra palettes that I'm not even excited to use, you know? So let's see. Weekend Festival. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so I was kind of excited about that. This is probably my favorite palette in my collection. It's nostalgic and like for good reason. Like I really like it. When I started my Instagram, I used this a ton. It was at a time that I barely had any vegan eyeshadows, and this was really like the formula. Cool, excited. And then my second palette, Mad for Matte. That's kind of like the same era. The one I have is like the jewel tone one, so I'll have plenty of matte shadows to use. I wonder if there's a way to like hold up my whole little collection. Put this on my shoulder. Okay, I'm not gonna bother holding up the liquid shadows for this moment, but here's all this. All right, cool. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited about it also. I mean, I feel like the palette of single shadows is kind of like self-sufficient, but I do want to like kind of remember more about my shadows and palettes and have my collection be more synergistic than I've used it in a long time. And be like, oh, I like this shadow and I have this perfect matte in this palette, and let me pull it out, and hopefully through this challenge, I'll do that. So I hope this was even a fraction as exciting for you as it is for me, because I'm so excited. I wish I wasn't already wearing eyeshadow right now so I could plop something on, but I'll be doing that really soon. You'll see a lot of me wearing this palette, and give me a like, subscribe, stick around if you enjoyed this, and that's everything.